Welcome back, and on your Monday morning, it's 4:42 here. We hope you had a great weekend, a very hot weekend, and we're going to roll that all the way into this week with more temperatures in the upper 90s. Luckily, we do have a few showers and storms this week, whereas it was completely dry last week. We're going to have a few storms today and a few storms the rest of the week here. Now remember, since it's so dry and hot, make sure you're watering those plants mainly in the morning and at night. You don't want to water them in the middle of the day. A lot of times the water will evaporate before it really gets soaked up into your plants or your grass. So good advice there. And then no threats in the tropics right now. However, future Ernesto is forming probably in the next couple of days, moving towards some of our Caribbean islands. So here's how today shapes up. We're going to be in the mid to upper 90s. We have a 20% chance of rain today. So if you're lucky enough, you see a little dip in your temperatures. If not, you see your temperatures rise steadily all the way into this afternoon. Hottest part of the day, 2 to 4 o'clock. That's typically when we see most of our heat. It's also when we'll have a few of those storms popping up. Our heat index today will stay likely just below heat advisory criteria most of the day, 105 to 107. You may briefly see it touch 108, but the rest of the week here, our humidity is increasing, and we're going to start to see the more dangerous heat index numbers as we get into the middle of the week here. So we'll steadily see things get a little bit worse as we go through the week. At the same time, we do have a chance for some storms, and I think a couple storms will help cool you off each afternoon, but they're going to be very isolated in nature. So upper 90s all the way through Thursday. This dip you see here by the end of the week, the heat ridge is going to break down slightly, and that'll allow a few more storms Saturday and Sunday and probably keep our temperatures in the mid 90s. So overall, the rain chances here, they're not off the charts, but at least they're here. Last week we had them at 0. This week hovering around 20% or so, and then for this weekend I've got them at 40% both Saturday and Sunday. So slightly better chance you see some thunderstorms for those upcoming weekend plans. Out in the tropics, we've got potential tropical cyclone 5, just showing that it is probably going to be a depression or a named storm very soon. It's just getting close to land, so they wanted to throw a designation on this. It's moving west very quickly at 25 miles per hour. It's pretty large in nature, so it's going to take some time for it to come together, but we do have some broad circulation in here as it moves towards the west. Now here's the official track. It's going to near the Caribbean islands by around Tuesday into Tuesday night. We do have tropical storm watches up for the northern parts of the Lesser Antilles, and then we've got tropical storm watches up for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. This is when it starts to make its turn to the north. So this will probably be near the islands by around late Tuesday into Wednesday as a tropical storm, and then we do think it's going to strengthen fairly significantly once it makes this turn to the north. Now this is a great turn for the United States, but Bermuda certainly keeping an eye on this. This could very well be a major hurricane somewhere spinning out here by the weekend, so by Saturday, sitting just south of Bermuda. And the reason it's going to make this turn, we believe, is because the ridge is going to break down. This big trough is going to swing down into the end of the week here, and that opens up a path for this to make that turn. So as long as the ridge isn't strong in here, that will allow future Ernesto to make that turn. But a couple islands out here certainly keeping an eye on this future storm. Well, it could be fairly strong once it's out in the Atlantic, so we'll see how that evolves. But right now, the Gulf is looking nice and quiet. We're just tracking plenty of heat for you. 97 today with that 20% chance of rain, 98 on Tuesday. We're not expecting a lot of rain, but a few more storms are possible tomorrow. 20% of rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so mainly still just dealing with that intense heat during the afternoons. And a reminder, the heat index is going to start to ramp up by tomorrow. That humidity is coming on back, so that we have that drier air for the weekend. That will be leaving us as we head through this week, and then once we get into the weekend, we do have a chance for those thunderstorms, knocking our temperatures down slightly, but still staying very hot in the mid 90s. Brianna.